Hey guys, I want to revisit this little invention of mine. If you recall, this is my solution for rear disc tensioning disc detainer locks. You don't have to know the length of the tip anymore. This takes out all the guesswork because it merely grabs onto the last disc by adding rotational pressure to the bottom disc. And when you maintain that, you do all your picking with the collar application component, and it works really, really well. And no more magnets, guys. That's what I really like about this. I always had the intention of producing some of these in a bow tie design. This one was really crudely done just to show proof of concept. So if I want to do more of these, I'll do them to a much better standard. Do you guys remember these? These came out of a twin pack that I had bought from Aliexpress, a disc detainer twin pack that is, made out of stainless steel. If you go on Aliexpress, they call it some sort of universal blade tool, and it gets really bad reviews. Nobody really wants to buy it. Maybe the shipping is just too much. The tool will probably run you about $60 plus shipping. But in any case, do you remember this is how I modified it? Okay, so I added all this extra material on here. I bought this. I modified a ejector pin sleeve and manufactured my own little tensioning collar here. And I had to re-drill this tool and made this out of a 1.4 millimeter ejector pin. I had to add a reducer down on this guy, and it works pretty well. But what about the other guy? And what can I do with it where if I ever wanted to add these tools back into it, can I do it without destroying it like I did this tool? In a manner of speaking, well, absolutely. I want to incorporate all those things I just showed you, and this is what I've got right here. What a superb design, guys. You notice that most lockpick manufacturers make these collars really thin, and the diameter is just ultra thin, and it works really well to give you that extra clearance so that if you accidentally get the alignment askewed slightly, it's not going to affect anything. But most of the locks that I'm working with, they'll handle a 3 millimeter shaft without any problem. So realizing that, I put some extra money out there to modify this tool. So what I had done is I bought some 1.5 millimeter ejector pins, and naturally I incorporated this rear disc tensioning design onto that. And I bought a 3 millimeter to 1.5 millimeter ejector pin with sleeve, and I modified that. And this was perhaps the most um, dangerous aspect of doing this work, is because if you screw it up, well, you just threw away your $10 and that wait time to get it in the mail. And it turns out that it paid off quite well. The design that I did, the workmanship that I put into it, just superb. So what did I have to do to make this work? Well, what I did was on this component, I had to put a homemade brass bushing that I had to machine, and that got slotted in order to incorporate this grub screw. So this grub screw literally just holds this guy right here, and it's very strong. It doesn't move. So what did I also have to do? Well, I bought some capillary tube from 5 millimeter to 3 millimeter, and I did the same thing. I took about maybe about a 12 millimeter length, and in addition to that, I notched it and just barely grazed past the surface of the inner diameter in order to catch the 3 millimeter shaft. And I just put a very, very slight flat spot on that. And boy, it works really nice. It's strong. So yeah, this tool, I'm not going to demonstrate it today, but let me tell you, it works really well. And unfortunately, I got so spoiled doing front tensioning picking that I almost have to reteach myself how to use this tool again, because the feedback is different when you're rear disc tensioning. I don't know if you guys ever experienced that, but it's not quite the same. So when you're working between front tensioning picking and rear distensioning picking, it's it's all the same thing. You're trying to feel those gates, but they just don't quite feel the same. Maybe some of you guys out there know what I'm talking about. But this is just a very simplistic design solution, and you can basically resurrect this garbage set of tools here, which do work, by the way, but not to my standard. And you're going to get some amazing quality if you really put the time and effort into it. And so, how much more does it cost to add all this extra stuff? You're looking at $25 plus whatever your shipping costs are. So that's not bad. So, you know what? I would say that this tool can easily do some of the exact same things that you're going to find on those $300 tools. It's just a case of what are you picking, what are your expectations, and what really is how complicated and how extravagant the lock mechanisms are. We're not talking alloys here, guys. I'm talking mostly the Chinese stuff. So if Chinese locks are your game, this is a great solution. Well, that's all I have for you today, and I appreciate you listening to my speech about my workmanship. And if you guys have any questions or feedback, I'm here to answer the questions. Have a great day. Thanks, guys.